now garrison. Pioneer Adjutant 195 Battalion, Operations Officer Nigerian Battalion 8, United Nations Mission in Sierra Leone, Battalion 2, Second in Command, 195 Battalion, Battalion Second in Command, 149 Battalion, General Staff Officer 1, Training and Operations at Headquarters 81 Division, Commanding Officer 73 Battalion, Assistant Director Operational Requirements at Department of Army Policy and Plans, Infantry Representative and Member Training Team at Headquarters Nigerian Army Armor Corps, Chief of Staff at Headquarters 2 Division, Commandant Nigerian Army Depot, Staff Officer Combat Arms at Army Headquarters Department of Projects and Programs, was also the Pioneer Executive Director, Nigerian Army Farms and Ranches Limited, Commander 82 Division Task Force Brigade, Operation Last Halt in Northeast, Commander Sector 3, Operation Lafia Dole, and Commander Sector 3, Multinational Joint Task Force, Lake Chad Region. The immediate past Chief of Defense Staff was also the Chief of General Duties, Training and Doctrine Command, Director Campaign Planning, Army Headquarters, Department of Army Training and Operations, Director Training, Army Headquarters, Department of Transport of Training and Operations, Senior Research Fellow, Nigerian Army Resource Center, and Theater Commander, Joint Task Force Northeast, Operation Hadinkai. Was also the Commander Infantry Corps, an appointment he held from January 2023 till his appointment as the 18th Chief of Defense Staff. In terms of successes recorded in operation, General Christopher Musa, as the Theater Commander for Operation Hadinkai, ensured that his troops reclaimed the upper hand after more than 10 years of fighting insurgents in Northeast. His tenure saw the troops decimate many insurgents, while many others surrendered to the sustained fighting power of the troops, which denied the insurgent freedom of action in general area of operations. Other operations attended by the senior officer include Operation Mesa, Operation Second Heaven, Operation Focus Relief, Operation Hakuri, and Operation Safe Conduct. Others include Operation Restore Hope, Operation Safe Conduct, Operation I Am Apatuma, Operation Last Hope, and Operation Lafia Dole. Also actively participate in Operation Kantana Jimla and Operation Hadinkai. General C.G. Musa has the following qualifications, honors, and awards to his credit. These include Bachelor of Science honors from Nigerian Defense Academy, Advanced Diploma in Security Management at the University of Lagos, Masters in Military Science at International College of Defense Studies, National Defense University, China, Diploma in Defense and Strategy from NDU, China. The honors and awards include United Nations Mission in Sierra Leone Medal, Past Staff Course, Meritorious Service Star, Distinguished Service Star, Fellow, Nigerian Institute of Management, Member, Nigerian Institute of Industrial Security, General Operations Medal, Command Medal, Chief of Army Staff Commendation Awards, Silver Jubilee Medal, Meritorious Service Medal, Fellow, National Defense University, Qingping, China, Centenary Medal, Distinguished Service Star, Training Support Medal, Operation Last Halt Medal, Grand Service Star Medal, Field Command Medal of Honor, Operation Hadinkai Medal, Armed Forces Distinguished Star. General Musa was also conferred with National Honor of the Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic in 2023. Our reverend and distinguished senior officer is married to his lovely spouse, Mrs. Lilian Awowo Musa. The union is blessed with 4 children. In his leisure, he enjoys giving service to humanity.
Very senior officers have retired. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the inspection, the parade commander will seek permission from the reviewing officer to carry on the rest of the parade, while the special guest of honor will take his position at the saluting dais.
May I have a permission? Carry on the rest of the parade, sir. Carry on,
Permission sought and granted to the parade commander to carry on with the proceeding, which is the rest of the activities lineup for this historic regimental event. Distinguished guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, with kind permission, may I welcome and recognize in our midst the presence of the former Chief of Defense Staff, General L.E.O. Irabo, retired, and the former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General F. Yahya, who are also here to grace this historic regimental event. So you are highly welcome to this auspicious event. The Honorable Minister of Defense, Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chiefs and Special Police, very senior officers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Those words of command from the parade commander, Major H.Y. Musa, has just triggered the commencement of the march past in slow time. At the moment, the troops are marching gracefully with full of vigor in a synchronized manner. May I once again remind our distinguished guests that as the color party marches to your sitting position, you are please expected to rise while serving officers and warrant officers in uniforms to salute. Distinguished guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to acquaint you with the composition of today's parade. The parade commander is Major H.Y. Musa. The #1 guard commander is Captain K.M. Magaji. The sub-guard commanders are Captain Y.I. Buffer and Lieutenant M.O. Eba. The company sergeant major behind the #1 guard is Warrant Officer Olorundare Sunday. The #2 guard is being commanded by Captain L.S. Ashindam. He's been assisted by 2 sub-guard commanders, Lieutenant Z.S. Samaila, Lieutenant A. Hamagado. The company sergeant major behind the #2 guard is Warrant Officer David Bartlome. Between #2 and 3 guard is the color party. There are 4 colors on parade this morning. The ensign to the national color is Captain T.S. Afe. Ensign to the Nigerian Army regimental color is Captain I.O. Lasisi. Ensign to the Nigerian Navy color is Lieutenant M. Abdullahi. While the ensign to the Nigerian Air Force color is Flight Lieutenant C.D. Okelu. The escort to the colors are Warrant Officer Archibald Anthony, Staff Sergeant Ada Sampson, Staff Sergeant Ituma Indubisi, Warrant Officer Muhammad Hassan, Staff Sergeant Moses Beji, Warrant Officer Ingile Umar, and Staff Sergeant Haruna Adamu. Behind the color party are the parade regimental sergeant majors, Master Warrant Officer Friday Ukaha of the Nigerian Army, Master Warrant Officer Utairu Ayuba of the Nigerian Navy, and Warrant Officer Adamu Haliru of the Nigerian Air Force. Distinguished guests, senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, once again, as the color party marches to your sitting position, you are please expected to rise. Officers and warrant officers in uniform are to salute. Thank you. The #3 guard is provided by the Nigerian Navy, commanded by Lieutenant M.E. Ishaku. He's been assisted by 2 sub-guard commanders, Sub-Lieutenant O.D. Ekinabari and Sub-Lieutenant O.R. Ganiu. The company sergeant major behind the #3 guard is Warrant Officer Uja Monday. #4 guard is provided by the Nigerian Air Force, commanded by Flight Lieutenant D. Idachaba. He's been assisted by 2 sub-guard commanders, Flying Officer J.E. Owai and Flying Officer W.W. Ogidikbe. The company sergeant major behind the #4 guard is Warrant Officer Isa Al-Amin. Providing the scintillating musical interlude for today's parade is a mass band commanded by Lieutenant Colonel A.O. Edoja, assisted by Lieutenant Commander O. Olaya, Squadron Leader A.A. Oludude, Captain J.E. Ogbodo, and Lieutenant A.A. Tom. At the moment, the #1 guard is paying compliment to the reviewing officer. At the moment is the #2 guard, commanded by Captain L.S. Ashindam, paying compliment to the reviewing officer. Distinguished guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, as the color party marches to your sitting position, we are expected to rise. Officers and warrant officers in uniform are to salute. Thank you. The ensign to the colors, the senior ensign to the national color is Captain T.S. Afe, while the ensign to the Army regimental color is Captain I.O. Lasisi. The ensign to the Nigerian Navy color is Lieutenant M. Abdullahi. And the ensign to the Nigerian Air Force color is Flight Lieutenant C.D. Okelu. At the moment is the number 3 guard, commanded by Lieutenant M.A. Ishaku, just paid compliment to the reviewing officer, and followed closely is the number 4 guard, provided by the Nigerian Air Force, commanded by Flight Lieutenant D. Idachaba, paying compliment to the reviewing officer, all marching gracefully in a slow time. Distinguished guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen. There are 17 officers, 250 members of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, dressed sparkling in their various services, ceremonial dress for this historic event of the pulling out parade in honor of the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, Armed Forces of Nigeria, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic, taking place live at Army Headquarters Garrison Parade Ground, Mogadishu Cantonment, Asokoro, Abuja, Nigeria.
The Honorable Minister of Defense, sir, senior officers both serving are retired. Recall we previously enumerated the achievements of the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff in establishment and policy matters, bilateral engagement, seminars, workshops, and conferences, as well as training and capacity building. I shall now look at his achievements in operations in all 6 geopolitical regions. Some of the activities carried out to enhance defense headquarters operations include consolidation of Operation Hadarin Daji and Operation Well Punch into a single command known as Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Fansanyama to improve responsiveness and cohesion. Establishment and operationalization of Sector 3, Operation Fansanyama in Kwara State to cover the entire Kwara State and southern parts of Niger State towards the Kayenji Lake Park to mitigate the reported influx of fighters from Benin Republic, as well as smuggling of small arms and light weapons. Other achievements include rebranding of Operation Safe Haven into Operation Enduring Peace to strengthen military's mandates in the region by focusing on sustainable security solutions that integrate military, political, judicial, and community efforts. Establishment and subsequent operationalization of Operation Safe Corridor in Northwest with headquarters located in Safe local government area of Zamfara State to provide an enabling platform for surrender of terrorists and other bandits who are willing to accept government overtures for a peaceful Nigeria. Other achievements include institutionalization of Chief of Defense Staff Joint Task Force Commanders Conference to foster jointness and improve synergy among services. I shall now look at specific achievements in all 6 geopolitical regions, starting with the Northeast. The achievement of defense headquarters in Northeast include the neutralization of key Boko Haram commanders and their close associates, notably Abu Kachala, Abu Modu, and many others, with the most recent being Abu Fatima, who has terrorized northern Borno since elimination of Al-Barnawi, but was eventually neutralized in May 2025. Some of the major roads and markets that were closed due to insecurity were reopened and maintained for socio-economic activities to thrive. Other achievements in Northeast include the surrender of more than 90,000 members of Boko Haram and their family members, and recovery of several weapons. That is a beautiful transition from slow time to quick time. And we please appreciate them with a round of applause. In continuation with the immediate past CDS achievements in Northeast includes over 40% reduction in number of internally displaced persons camped in Borno and Yobe, while in Adamawa State, the internally displaced persons camp are virtually less active, as most of the internally displaced persons have returned to their original homes, resettled by the various state governments, and have resumed farming activities already. Other achievements in Northeast include enhanced collaboration with various state governments in Northeast, as evident in recent confidence that was expressed by Northeast governors on the Nigerian military during its last meeting that was held at Jalingo in Taraba State in the last week of August 2025. Other achievements include continuous protection of vulnerable farming communities and villages with no incident of large-scale violent attack as it was in the past, until in the Northwest, the achievements include containment of mass kidnappings of pupils and students, which have been the signature of terrorism in the Northwest in significantly diminishing manner. Significant containment of the Lakurawa terrorist group by preventing their further spread while confining their current limited presence to specific locations within Kebbi and Sokoto State for subsequent annihilation of the group. May I respectfully remind our esteemed guests that while the color party march past, you are please requested to rise. Officers and warrant officers in uniform are please requested to salute. Continuation of the achievements of the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff in Operation Northwest Region. The containment of the spread of Mahmuda terrorist group within Kwara State and their subsequent dissemination to an ineffective level through launching of Operation Park Strike to decimate their tactical level leaders and field commanders, as well as foot soldiers following the arrest of their strategic leaders by the Department of State Services. Restoration of farming and other socio-economic activities of the Northwest, especially Kaduna, Kebbi, Niger, as well as greater part of Zamfara and Katsina states, where farmers are able to access their farms and markets remain open while ensuring the free and safe movement of commuters. In North Central, the achievements include elimination of key bandit leaders such as Ibrahim Danguntu and Yao Mohammed in Tunga, Kogi State. Elimination of terrorist kingpins who have terrorized parts of Kogi and federal capital in Kakande Hills. elimination of Gabangida Kachela, a terrorist kingpin and second in command to notorious Kachela Shaibu in Ofere community of Kogi State. Dissemination of killer groups in general area of Pokos among local governments which usher in the current rented peace and tranquility that are being enjoyed in these local governments of Plateau State. Successful containment of the activities of gun-running syndicate which hitherto transformed wigwams from Ambazonia groups in Cameroon through Taraba State to Nasarawa State into the FCT and other neighboring states. In Southeast, the achievements include significant containment of Monday sit-at-home in Southeast region in a diminishing manner, restoration of safety on public highways in Southeast region, which was hitherto adjudged as impossible due to the incessant attacks, kidnappings, and other criminal vices, elimination of activities of unknown government to a large extent across the entire Southeast region, restoration of public confidence in government's ability to protect the citizen through sincere government security measures as demonstrated by the security agency, dissemination of IPOP leadership following the recent neutralization of Ifeanyi Eze Okorenta, aka Gentle Deahu, who has been a notorious IPOP ISL leader at religiously impending heinous directive of Simon Akpa.
Distinguished guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, at the moment, the troops are halting. Distinguished guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, any moment from now, the parade commander will dress and advance the troops in preparation for the reviewing orders of officers' valedictory speech. Commander has successfully dressed the troops. Any moment will advance the troops in reviewing orders in preparation for the reviewing officers' valedictory speech. Beautiful. Please let's put our hands together for that beautiful halting by the troops. Your Excellencies, very senior officers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we shall now have the honor of listening to the valedictory speech by the reviewing officer. May I at this point most respectfully invite the reviewing officer, the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, Armed Forces of Nigeria, General C.G. Musa, Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic, for his valedictory speech. The reviewing officers.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, CON MNI, the Chief of Defense Staff, General O. Oluede, Service Chiefs and Inspector General of Police, heads of security agencies and government parastatals, former chiefs of defense staff and service chiefs, commandants and commanders of military establishments and formations, captains of industry, our spiritual and royal fathers, president and members of the POA, NAOA, NOA, NAFOA, and POA, presidents and members of 38th, 39th, and 40th regular courses associations, senior officers both serving and retired, members of the press, families, loved ones, and well-wishers, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today, as an echo of the final march past fades away and the colors are trooped for the last time in my honor, I stand before you filled with a profound and inexpressible sense of gratitude. This pulling up parade is not just a ceremony, it is a sacred military tradition that marks the end of a journey of service that lasted 39 years and 4 months to be precise, and the beginning of a new chapter in my life. I am totally humbled as I reflect on the incredible privilege it has been to serve our great nation, Nigeria, in the noble profession of arms. I'm eternally grateful to the President and Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for the immeasurable honor and trust reposed in me to serve as the Chief of Defense Staff. I am also thankful to the Nigerian Army and the entire armed forces for the opportunity to serve for almost 4 decades. I want to also thank my successors, the current Chief of Defense Staff and the service chiefs. I extend my heartfelt congratulations and unwavering support. I want to thank the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, members of the National Assembly, the Executive, the Judiciary, all lovers of Nigeria. The security of our nation is incapable of hands, and I urge you all personnel to extend them the same loyalty, dedication, and professionalism you showed me. My journey will have been impossible without the support of my family, my dear wife, Mrs. Ogogo Lilian Musa, and my wonderful children, Kuyet Yashim Bobai and Indi, have been my fortress and sanctuary. They bore the burden of my long absence, the anxiety of my deployments, and the constant concern for my safety. You are the unsung heroes of my service, and I owe you a debt of love that can never be fully repaid. To the gallant officers, men and women of the armed forces, the true heroes of our nation, this day belongs to you all. I've been privileged to work among giants. I've witnessed your raw courage in the face of danger, your resilience in the most audacious conditions, and your unwavering commitment to the unity and peace of our loving country, Nigeria. You are the best of us, and it has been the highest honor of my life to be your comrade and your leader. I urge you to never lose faith, to remain steadfast in your duty, and to always uphold the core values of loyalty, sacrifice, and selfish service. Defeat is temporary. Victory is forever. Continue to believe in Nigeria, for it is a nation worth fighting for. I also wish to acknowledge the resilience and support of the Nigerian people, especially our teaming youths. Your prayers, encouragement, and unwavering belief in a better, safer Nigeria have been the wind beneath our wings. I extend a special appreciation to the Nigerian media for being a vital partner in the quest for national security, and to all other security agencies for a robust synergy. I want to specifically mention the Nigerian police, the DSS, the NIA, the DIA, and all other security agencies that have contributed one way or the other in making my tour of duty successful. I say a big thank you. As I hang my uniform today, I do so with a clear conscience, knowing that I gave my all. I live with cherished memories of camaraderie, of battles fought, and of triumphs celebrated as one family. The sound of the bugle might change for me, but the soldier's heart beats on forever. I might be retiring from active military service today, but I'm by no means retiring from my love for our dear country, Nigeria. I remain a soldier at heart and a patriot ever loyal to the constitution and sovereignty of our great nation. Once again, I appreciate Mr. President for the opportunity to serve as the Chief of Defense Staff for 2 years plus. It has been a great honor, and I don't take that for granted. And I assure him of our loyalty. Even out of service, we will continue to contribute to ensure that the armed forces and other security agencies are able to perform their task credibly. Today's parade was a showcase of the professionalism that the military is known for. And I thank the Chief of Defense Staff and the services for putting together such a remarkable and lavish farewell ceremony in my honor. I wish to also thank the Minister of Defense, the Minister of State Defense, the Acting Permanent Secretary, Minister of Defense, the entire staff of Minister of Defense, Federal Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Interior Affairs, and all other MDAs that have supported us in the quest of bringing peace to our dear country, Nigeria. I want to state this clearly, that there is no single institution, no single organization can win this war fight alone. We must synergize, we must collaborate, we must fight together. And I appeal to all Nigerians to pray for our troops, to pray for our security forces, so that we can win, and together we shall succeed. Nigeria shall continue to develop. Finally, I wish to thank the Almighty God for His divine protection and sustaining grace throughout the course of my career, even as I lean on Him for the next phase of my life. Long live the Nigerian Armed Forces. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless you all.
That was a motivational military speech by the reviewing officer. May we please give him another resounding round of applause as I invite the parade commander to carry on with the rest of the proceeding. Thank you.
Musa, of the Federal Republic, Armed Forces Medal, Nigerian Army Medal, War Medal of Honor, Go, Fellow, National Defense College, China, Command Medal, Chief of Army Staff Commendation Award, Minute First, Chief of Defense Staff, Armed Forces of Nigeria.
Distinguished guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, at the moment, the parade commander, Major H.Y. Musa, is marching smoothly to take permission from the reviewing officer to carry on with the rest of the parade.
Permission! March up, columns, and the rest of the parade, sir.
Carry on. Well done.
Permission has just been granted to the parade commander to carry on with the rest of the parade. At this point, may I respectfully crave the indulgence of the reviewing officer to please remain on the saluting days and take the final respect while the color party marches off the parade ground. Thank you, sir.
The colors! To the colors!
Please shall we all rise as the color party marches off the parade ground. Officers and warrant officers in uniform are to salute. Thank you. Dignitaries, you may have your seat. Thank you. May I, at this point, humbly request the Commander, Defense Headquarters Garrison, Major General A.M. Alechinu, to invite the reviewing officer to extend pleasantries with dignitaries that grace this occasion while we prepare the vehicle for the pulling out ceremony. Immediately when we are set, I shall humbly invite the reviewing officer for the pulling out ceremony. The Commander, Defense Headquarters Garrison, sir. At this point, may I also request Defense Headquarters Regimental Sergeant Major, Army Warrant Officer, Dada Benga, to prepare the vehicle for the pulling out ceremony. Also, to request the band to also take post for the pulling out ceremony. Thank you.
Distinguished invited guests, senior officers, both serving and retired, ladies and gentlemen, while we await for the commencement of the pulling out the senior officer, permit me to respectfully continue with reading out the modest achievements recorded by the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff in terms of operations in South-South. The operational capabilities of the Operation Delta SAVE have been enhanced through the deployment of additional troops and personnel of other security and intelligence agencies.
Distinguished guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen. Next is the high point of this historic regimental event, which is the pulling out ceremony of the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, Armed Forces of Nigeria, Taking now out General Christopher Gwabin Musa, esteemed holder of the Officers of the Order of the Niger. May I, at this point, with kind permission, humbly request Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chiefs, Major Generals and equivalent, and direct reporting directors at Defense Headquarters to please proceed and hold the ropes for the pulling out ceremony. Once again, at this point, may I most respectfully request the Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chiefs, Major General and equivalent, and direct reporting directors at Defense Headquarters to please proceed and hold the ropes for the pulling out ceremony. Thank you. Distinguished guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen. Next is the high point of this historic regimental event, which is the pulling out ceremony of the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff. May I, at this point, most respectfully request Major Generals and equivalent and direct reporting directors to please proceed and hold the rope for the pulling out ceremony. They are to accompany the Chief of Defense Staffs and Service Chiefs. Now that the stage is set proper, may I most respectfully request the Commander, Defense Headquarters Garrison, Major General A.M. Alechinu, to humbly invite the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic, to be accompanied by his lovely spouse, the immediate past National President, Defense and Police Officers' Wife Association, Mrs. Lillian Gwabin Musa, to please mount the vehicle in preparation for the pulling out ceremony. Very senior officers have retired, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. By way of announcement, I would like to remind our distinguished guests that shortly after this ceremony, officers and esteemed guests are please requested to proceed to Armed Forces Officers' Mess Asokoro for a light refreshment, while soldiers, rating and airmen will be entertained at Defense Headquarters Garrison Sport Complex here in Mogadishu Cantonment. Thank you. Distinguished guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen. This is the high point of this historic regimental event, which is the pulling out ceremony of the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, Armed Forces of Nigeria, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, esteemed holder of the Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic. He has already mounted the vehicle, accompanied by his beloved darling wife, the immediate past National President, Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, Mrs. Lillian Gwabin Musa, and they are to be pulled out by Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chiefs, Major Generals and equivalent, as well as direct reporting directors at Defense Headquarters. The band has already taken place. The band has taken post. Any moment from now, we shall witness the pulling out ceremony proper. Distinguished guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, the sound of the band officially signifies the pulling out proper of this historic event. Once again, by way of announcements, I would like to remind our distinguished guests that shortly after this ceremony, officers and esteemed guests are all please requested to proceed to Armed Forces Officers Mess, Asokoro, Abuja, for a light refreshment, while soldiers, ratings, and airmen will be entertained at Defense Headquarters Garrison Sport Complex here in Mogadishu Cantonment.
Distinguished invited guests, senior officers both serving and retired, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, may I, on behalf of the organizing committee, officers and men of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, thank you for honoring our invitation to be part of today's historic regimental parade. We wish you a safe journey back to your respective destination. Once again, I am Lieutenant Colonel A. Abdullahi, your lead master of ceremony for these historic events. My co-compare has been
Lieutenant Colonel B.M. Jajira from the commentary desk. Once again, we wish you journey mercy to your respective destination.
shi Abuja da shi
Likita kan